and fruitful week, inshallah. And on the platform, I am joined by Julde Jai. Julde, we miss you so much.
Ibrahim, I miss you too. You know, I like sharing this platform with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I hope
awesome.
Jenaba will not be jealous.
Let her be jealous. It's her business. See,
Habibi, please don't be jealous.
Habibi, jealous if you want.
Good morning to you, Balde. Good morning to our viewers from wherever you're watching us from. It's always good to be back in this platform. Like Balde said, it's a new week. We wish you all the best. And, you know, like I always say, leave the past behind and then, you know, focus on the future. Be happy, safeguard your mental health, and then, yeah, go out there and make positive change.
Mental health, very significant. But, I mean, I'll use this opportunity before I introduce my guest for the newspaper review today. I will use this opportunity to wish my wife, my darling wife, Penda Balde, a happy belated birthday. Yesterday was her birthday, and, you know, we celebrated it in a special way.
Mashallah.
Yesterday, I told her, Penda, today, anywhere I go, you will go with me.
Mashallah.
We went as far as Bonto yesterday.
Wow.
So, on this special day, I wish for all your dreams to come true and for your heart to be filled with immense joy.
Amen.
May the coming year be even more incredible than the last, and may our love continue to grow and flourish. You deserve all the love, success, and happiness that life has to offer.
Oh.
Happy belated birthday to my darling wife, Penda.
To
You've been
sweetheart.
a very good woman.
Mashallah.
Very good woman. Patient. Wow.
Happy belated birthday to you, Penda darling. May you live to witness many more years to come. May you be happy with Balde. You have a very blessed kids. Yala Mailen Halis Bubari.
Halis Bubari.
Mashallah.
You them hike together.
Yeah, inshallah.
You gave them hike together. Little mom, it's a dream, inshallah. Yeah, so on the newspaper review today, I have no other than our own Mamadou Lamin Choi. Mamadou Lamin Choi, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Balde. Good morning to
my neighbor.
Good neighbor.
Oh, you are neighbors?
Join you on this program.
Since when?
A long time.
Yeah, ever since.
You haven't been aware? You were not aware?
This is the first time. It's news to me.
Wow.
Okay.
You know?
You're really behind Balde. But
Absolutely.
he's my neighbor and he is our presidential correspondent. Meet the people to correspondent.
Meet the people to
our
correspondent.
China correspondent. So yeah.
Top story. Roads and Belt Project. Yes. So it's good to have you here, Mamadou Lamin Choi. And, you know, we are hopeful before the end of this, you know, segment, we would discuss a lot of things here. Because a lot of things have been happening the previous week, so it will be significant. You are with the president throughout his tour, and you know, we'd like you to delve into that and also tell us how, you know, everything went. It will be important to engage you. So, Julde, we need to go through our African proverb. What does it read?
Our African proverb this morning is, many words do not fill a basket. It's a Yoruba proverb.
Yoruba.
Many words do not fill a basket. That's our African proverb this morning, and it's a Yoruba proverb.
Yoruba proverb.
Neighbor,
Yes.
neighbor.
Neighbor?
What do you make of
So, just go through this, please.
Many.
Words do not fill a basket.
My understanding of this proverb is not only, well, it doesn't matter how many, you know, how much is, you know, is said about something. You know, what matters is, you know, the significance of a particular, you know, conversation, rather than, you know, everybody joining and, you know, talking on the same topic, but irrespective of how many voices, you know, are centered around it. What matters is the substance of what is said, rather than what everyone is talking about.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's many words do not fill a basket. It's telling you, you know, only talking without action. I mean, there'll be no, you know, productive result at the end of the time. So it's important for you to walk the talk and, you know, put some efforts to be able to get what you want. But if you procrastinate for a very long time, I want to do this, I'll do this and that and that and that, everybody will fill their baskets and leave you there while you're procrastinating. So, I mean, that's my understanding of this proverb.
You took the words right from my mouth. That is my own interpretation as well. You can't just sit around and then, you know, every day say, I want to do this or I want to be this, and then you're not putting in any effort to ensure that that is really successful. Okay, I have a plan. It's good to have a plan every day. All of us at some point in our life, we all have plans to do some things, but if you don't really work hard to achieve that plan or to achieve that dream, it would just be a dream. So it's important that whatever you set your mind to, it's important that every day you remind yourself that, okay, this is my plan, this is what I am set out to do, this is my dream, but also put in, you know, actions or plans as to how you're going to really attain that particular dream. But just talking alone would not really get you to your final destination.
True.
So I think it's important really to, in as much as it's a bit of a therapy to, you know, even if you are down, to say, you know what, I can do it. I am a conqueror. You know, I am brave, and I know that this is a passing storm and it will pass. You know, it serves as a therapy to many, really, including myself. But that alone, it's not the solution. You know, you have to put in more effort to ensure that you reach to that destination or you actually achieve what you set out to achieve.
Absolutely. You know, a dream needs to go with a plan.
Absolutely.
You know, only dreaming without a plan, it's just a dream. It will just be a stagnant dream. It will be pending. But also, plan needs implementation. You know, without these three, I don't think you will get what you want. So I think it's important for these three elements to go together to be successful at some point.
Absolutely.
Because we've seen, usually in the context of politics, you know, we see politicians going around promising, you know, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And people have been hearing all sorts of lofty promises, you know, from politicians, and many of which, at the end of the day, people are not able to realize and feel the impact. So people will tell you, oh, talk is cheap. You know, people are coming here and, you know, be saying so many things, but we're not seeing action. So, you know, it goes to say that success is in the results. Okay, success is in the effort, rather. Success is in the effort we take. Without much efforts, without much plan, because failing to plan is planning to fail.
Yeah.
So by making sure that, you know, our vision matches with our words and actions, then we can realize what we need on this, you know, on this earth.
Absolutely.
Without which, then words will remain to be words, and our dreams will remain to be, you know, fantasy, which cannot be realizable without our collective actions.
True.
So basically, yeah.
True. Well, I think we all agree on that interpretation. It's quite similar. I mean, it's more, or you know, it's the same thing. We'll take a short break. After the break, the program continues. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV This Morning, and I am here with Jules Denjai, and our newspaper review guest is no other than our top journal, Mohamed Lamin Choi. Top story.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. "5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected. Juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
We're back. You are watching QTV this morning, and now we'll go straight to the newspaper review. And we have the Standard newspaper, Julde, and other papers follow as well. The Standard newspaper, government reveals plans for new airport management company. Of course, we have 7 killed in Jarume Koto as driver plunges into crowd. You know, I think this is very significant for us to talk about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it escaped our mind.
The number actually rose to 8 now.
Yes, otherwise we would have contacted the police PRO on the program, at least to take us through this. But I've seen, you know, messages on social media going around and pictures of some of the victims and, you know, the driver himself. So this is a very sad incident in Jarema Koto. According to what I saw, it is, I mean, allegedly, I mean, that vehicle, that truck wasn't in good shape. But now the question is, when the vehicle was plying that route, he passed through police checkpoints.
Yeah.
At some point. You know, what have they done about that? That's the main question people are asking.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Balde. When events like this happen, so many things is said. And it will be interesting for us to hear from the police about their preliminary, you know, findings, because when the incident happened, the guy, the suspect, was arrested and is now in police custody while the police is doing some investigations. So it will be interesting for us to, you know, to understand what comes out of that and the way forward. Incidents like this happen in the country. This is not you know, news in the country, because these are things that keep happening across the country on our roads. The roads in the Gambia here have not been safe at all, given the, you know, the number of accidents we keep seeing in the country. You ply the roads, or you know, you go across the country on the roads, especially within the Greater Banjul area, you know, at night. You see vehicles moving, you know, towards different directions, some of which, you know, having only one headlight, some of which are in bad condition. You know, it goes to tell you whether we do not have, you know, police checkpoints across the country. But these are, you know, these are vehicles that pass, you know, the security, pass police checkpoints.
Absolutely. Without
the law being enforced. Because if a vehicle is not in good shape, if a vehicle has only one headlight, really, that should signal something is going wrong, and the police needs to take action to get that vehicle off the road. But what we have seen, what we have been seeing, is the opposite of what should have been done. Vehicles, you know, dominating the traffic, and they are not in good condition. So people also, you know, you see many drivers, really reckless driving is really the order of the day. People drink and drive, you know, people who really are not qualified enough are on the roads. So a lot of things, you know, need to be done in order to address the situation, rather than only, you know, saying developments happening and people being, you know, being arrested. But the root cause of the problem is the fact that we have, of course, roads are being constructed, some of which are not in good condition. But the major cause, drivers' attitude, and also the inadequate or lack of enforcement of the laws.
That's true. I think I will come in there. In order to back your claims, recently the World Bank did a study on the infrastructure assessment of the Gambia's transport sector, and they really find really gaps in terms of connectivity, in terms of in the areas of governance, and you know, and funding as well. And you know what the World Bank report really highlighted is what you're really saying right now, is that, you know, the report also highlights the country has a higher, you know, average of transport share of its greenhouse gas emissions. This results in large part through weak and low implementations of regulations regarding fuel quality. They also mentioned that, you know, there is a problem when it comes to the fuel quality, vehicle standards, and driver and vehicle testing. I think you know, this is not something that we are just coming up with. This is a study that has been done, you know, by experts, and, you know, these are the results. So it's not something really that we are just coming up or we are just talking, but experts are the ones who say it. And I think as a country, really, we need to take these things seriously. Lots of studies have been done to really show that these are the problems. What are we doing as a country, as a people, to ensure that, you know, we find lasting solutions to these problems?
Absolutely.
We know that one of the problems really that is costing all of these accidents in the Gambia. I mean, accidents kill, you know, more than malaria in this country and COVID-19 combined, which is really serious.
Well, I mean, just look at this situation.
The number is high. Yeah, seriously bad.
7 people.
Yeah.
And 8 people,
Eight
like you mentioned.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, maybe that's the one you know. That's the incident that you know. But other parts also, something is happening that we don't know. At this time of the season, it's December. You know, I think police should even have those machines that test alcohol. You know, maybe they'll take your breath and know whether you are intoxicated or not. Otherwise, you know, these things will keep happening. Because some drivers, they drink and they drive, as you mentioned, Julie.
I mean, you don't even require that to have machines. I mean, some of these officers are, you know, taught they should. I think they should be really, you know, have capacity building in terms of psychology. There should be a bit of psychologists to know, you know, by just looking at people, they will be able to read a lot of things with regards to those drivers and, you know, even the vehicles that are there. Some of these things you don't really need a machine. It's just the capacities of these officers that need to be really built in terms of, you know, to observe and also to know really what makes of a good vehicle and what makes of a bad vehicle. Sometimes even with the sound, when you hear the sound, you know that something is wrong with this vehicle. But do they have the capacity to really detect all those things, you know, when they are in traffic? So that is why I said a lot needs to be done as far as regulation is concerned, as far as enforcement is concerned, and that starts with the issuance of driver's license. You know, most of the people, there has been allegations, you know, in the country that some of them would just go and then they would just pay money and then they would be issued driver's license without even having to undergo tests and all of that. So all of these are serious allegations that should be put into consideration. And it should be strict like other countries. You can't just walk there and then today you drive in 1 week and you're qualified. That is what we see in this country. You hear people say, oh, you know, after I drive in 1 week and I am successful and I have, you know, I was
now
able
I
to have
my
a license. Yeah, it's
yes.
serious.
There are other countries that, you know, your driver's license is forfeited. I mean, once you maybe get into a particular case, maybe an accident or something carelessly, they will rule your driver's license as null and void. You won't be able to use it. They will retrieve it. So at some point, you need to go through a disciplinary measure again for you to be able to get back your driver's license. So a lot of things have been happening in our traffic. And I think it's a matter of discipline. And, you know, also authorities been, you know, on top of things. They need to understand certain things, you know, how to deal with certain situations. But let's move on. Shouldn't a national conference be organized to deal with the deaths at sea? Foroya is asking.
National conference.
Yeah. 41 people died last week. You know, a very sad incident also at sea.
Maybe, yeah. The question is a dialogue there, you know, the conference. I think it's a burning issue right now, and it's one of the most pressing issues really in the country. And we have seen that the topic of irregular migration and the loss of lives of Gambians have also featured, you know, in meetings. The president talking about what government plan is to address it. So it's a national concern. I think it should be treated as a national emergency for, you know, for a dialogue to sit down and discuss, you know, bring all the stakeholders together. Also, you know, both political, you know, sides to come together and then discuss what exactly is the problem and how do we tackle it.
Absolutely.
It is serious. When, you know, more than dozens of Gambians, you know, losing their lives at sea in a very short span of time really should trigger some dialogue, some national dialogue, in order to find possible solution. Because we must ask the question, why are the young people leaving this country? You know, and when we ask that question, the answers really would help us diagnose what the problem is in order to chart a way forward towards addressing it. And this must be in the minds of everyone. I think the signs are there. Many of us know what the situation is like in the country here. Despite some efforts government is taking, of course, unemployment challenges facing the country really is one of the root causes of it. But that should not really, cause what is happening right now.
And even the president was concerned, because I heard him mention the issue of Bagwe during the...
Yes. And that's why I said even during the Meet the People tour, it has really featured in, so many meetings, the president highlighting the plan, government and, laws that they're trying to introduce. He said, he's working with the Attorney General to, to come up with some laws to target those who are involved in, trafficking sort of, or those that,
Trafficking in prisons?
We have trafficking in passing laws in the country here. But those who facilitate this irregular migration, they're trying to target them in order to, to make sure that at least, some punishment, strategies are put in place in order to deter it. But of course, there should be a national dialogue for us to understand what the problems are and bring about some sort of a solution. Yes.
Totally agree. Balde, I think at this point we will...
Yeah. I would love us to engage Choi on the Meet the People tour. You've been with the president for almost a week or so.
More than that.
Yes, more than that. So it's important for us to hear from you. I think we've been trying to get you on this program, but due to one or two reasons, you were not able to make it. Busy schedule as well, because I mean the news department needs to survive as well.
I know, right?
Yeah, so yes.
Balde, for me, I think I will start off with analyze the whole situation for us. You've been following the president. This is not the first time of you really following the president in his tours. How has it been last year and this year, if you were to compare them, in terms of people and, some of the challenges that they've been going through and some of the things that they've been mentioning? How has it been, really?
Thank you. Of course, I've been covering the Meet the People tour since 2021, and really what we have seen in contrast of the past. Before, you saw some projects government, have been trying to implement. There were some, some projects that were, at that initial stage, that government, started implementing. And now we're seeing some of them, shaping up. Some have been completed, and some are still dragging on. Government is trying to push to make sure that at least the contractors deliver on them. These are infrastructure development projects, and you wouldn't know until you experience such kind of a journey, because people sit in their offices, sit in their houses, and we all wonder what is happening. Of course, we rely so much on what we see on social media. And sometimes these stories are told by journalists who are professionals, but sometimes stories told by people with certain interests. And really, the story is a story of a developing country, and that is what I have seen throughout the tour. Some infrastructure development projects the government is implementing in order to tackle the problems of the people in terms of agriculture, in terms of health. When it comes to agriculture, we're seeing government trying to introduce some, farm equipment. Of course, not to a massive scale, just recently, government procured up to 50 tractors, which now have been distributed across the country. But we've also, in terms of agriculture, when it comes to diversifying the agriculture sector, we have seen, some interventions, empowering the farmers during this farming season. Government has provided free seeds to farmers, amounting to tens of thousands across the country. Fertilizer have also been subsidized, and the amount of money government has spent in fertilizer subsidy is close to $500 million. A lot of money has been spent. So these are things that people appreciate. The farmers appreciate so much that, of course, this is what government is doing for us, and we really appreciate it. The message has been a message of appreciation and also tasking government to do more, because as much as government is implementing so many projects, there are a lot of things still needed in order to fill the gaps. When it comes to health, government currently is trying to improve access to health in the country, and with a project of constructing at least 7 major hospitals across regions in the country. And there are also health posts that have been completed recently from 2021 to 2022. So seven major hospitals are being constructed across the country, some of which will be inaugurated early next year. So this will also improve access to health. When it comes to infrastructure development, government currently is constructing at least 365 kilometers of roads. So the target is to construct at least 1,500 kilometers of road within the next 5 years. And that process is ongoing. And we have seen, roads being constructed in every region. In every region you go, there are some, roads that government is implementing, be it feeder roads and also major roads. So electricity access is really a big challenge when it comes to when you go to the rural parts of the country. Okay, and these have been highlighted in almost every meeting. You go to some constituencies, 3 or 4 villages having access to electricity. Of course, government has acknowledged that gap, and President Adama Barrow has been highlighting his government's plan to ensure that there is universal access to electricity, universal coverage, electricity coverage in the country by 2025. And he keeps making this joke that even if you are in a hole, okay, light will find you there by 2025. Rest assured, because there are some projects that government is implementing with support, from the World Bank and other, international development partners. So these are things that government is doing when it comes to access to water also, because rural parts of the Gambia, these are their common problems: roads, electricity, and water access. But what is government doing when it comes to helping people access to access to water? Through the through support from Japan and other development partners, government is implementing water projects across the country, and the rural communities are really benefiting from it. And I understand with that project, which is targeting to provide at least 150 boreholes, at least 400,000 Gambians stand to benefit from that project. It's a life-changing project, and we have seen President Barrow not only inaugurating the project is already ongoing, and some boreholes have already been inaugurated by the president during this tour. Of course, that is also something that is going to improve the living condition of people when it comes to access to water.
Yes.
So
Troy,
there are a lot of things happening, and when you travel, you see more.
Among all the projects you visited, I mean, which one impressed you the most?
I think all are quite impressive, because if I talk about electricity, electricity is very is very important, because without electricity, to have access to water also becomes a problem. Our economy largely depends on on electricity. which is something that rural parts of the Gambia is lacking. But for me, what stands out for me is that water project, okay? Because water, we rely so much on water, on so many things. So without access to water, we cannot wash, we cannot prepare our food.
We cannot even live.
We cannot even live.
Yeah, seriously.
You understand? We cannot survive. We can survive without electricity, of course. I have lived in in rural parts of the country for so many years without access to electricity, and I live a very decent life. But this water project that government is implementing in the country, especially at the rural parts of the country, some of which have already materialized, and the president have inaugurated some of these boreholes, is it's a game changer. And the fact that the project targets at least 400,000 Gambians, 400,000. This is quite huge, and it will really help so many people in this country, and that is so remarkable for me.
So because this is Meet the People tour, for me really I'm much particular about the people and their reaction and how really they receive these whole development projects. So how has been the reaction of the people as compared to the previous years? Are they really optimistic of a positive change?
Yes, what I have seen, of course, development is never enough. Okay, no matter how much government is doing, of course, there is a lot more needs to be done. And I think I have to emphasize on this. Of course, government is doing something, but a lot more needs to be done. Okay, people are poor, farmers need access to finance, farmers need access to, farm implements, this tool, mechanizing the agriculture sector of this country. A huge gap is still there. But what is so, promising for the people, and when they took the floor to speak, they will always start by acknowledging what government is doing. Okay? Government is doing A, B, C, and D. These are things that have really improved our lives. But they've also been very, very frank enough to identify the problems, some of which are so pressing, and in some meetings we had speakers talking tough on the things that are affecting their lives and livelihood, and the government would listen. Ministers will take turn to respond to some of those concerns. For example, you go to some hospitals or health posts or health centers in the country without specialist doctors. Okay, you have general physicians, or doctors. These are people who are not specialized, in certain medical fields. They are lacking in some hospitals in the country. So people are optimistic, of course, with the trend of development that they're seeing and acknowledging. Okay, they are tasking government to do more. And the president keeps telling them that you voted for me to serve you. I'm your servant. Okay? I'm here to listen to you. And even if you tell me to do, even if you task me to do certain development, and I am unable to do it, I will try my best to do it. Because I'm here to serve you, irrespective of what political party you support. And for me, what has been quite striking is the message, coming out from the head of state, and also from, speakers, calling out for unity. Let's come together, irrespective of our political differences. We must come together to develop this country. And the president has been making that call, and that was why I took the opportunity, because for the development of this country, we need unity, we need peace in this country, without which it cannot be realized. So the president calling on everyone to join him, irrespective of whatever political party you belong, is quite significant. And I look forward to the president implementing his his willingness to sitting down with the opposition face to face, and discussing national matters in order to forge, a development path forward.
Well, that's significant. I mean, meeting the people and at least knowing some of their problems. Lamin Choi, thank you very much for, reviewing some of these stories with us and also, giving us a bit about presidents Meet the People tour. I think it's important. 2020, and we are looking looking forward for 2024 as well.
Hopefully, next time we will have Mr. Balde.
Yes.
Checking the
hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right. Thank you very much, Mohamed Lamin Choi. So we'll take a short break. After the break, then the program continues. We'll be back.
QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. Go, ebe dawa full network suda tili QCell. Ni lafta diamla wati jamala mune diata QCell. Most reliable network jumala keta wati QCell. Wo quality man nyon soda jam ona manke QCell. Hanibe wulo ni farole kono walante be bakono jala fayola network o se taria QCell suñu boss. Nyo finjeka indi 3G ñu 4G Plus, and now we bring you 5G. 5G. First and only 5G provider. Itella follow adi doron nesa keno. Gambia bela nyon tawo fele QCell. Ko fasun tawo buka busi QCell. Itella multi milka kukutol nati Gambia. QCell made a lori la kiliano yele imanyina amanda wala itella ka quality dila dadi ma itelle silo wala wodol mume be kenoma. QCell sunibus. QCell sunibus. QCell sunibus. QCell sunibus. Wanex solo be bambandi QCell sunibus. QCell most innovative QCell sunibus.
The future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
We are back. This is QTV This Morning. Now to the third segment of this program. And we thank Mohamed Lamin Choi also for giving us update on the president's tour, which is very significant, Julde. I mean, knowing what the people are going through, going round, and also knowing some of their problems. It is the right of the citizens for the president to listen to them. Absolutely. So this is significant. Thank you, Mohamed Lamin Choi. Now, let's take a look at this topic. Renowned public speaker gives masterclass. Which is no other than Amadou Chico Sissoko. I hope I am able to pronounce it right.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
perfect.
All right. Yeah. So we are glad to have you here. Our reporters were at the event and they covered the program. So we said it's important to have you live on our studios here on Kairaba Avenue, at least for you to share with us, which will also go a long way to benefit many people, especially the young people who are watching this program now. Yeah. Yes. So welcome to QTV.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here this morning with you.
Yes.
So to start off with, take us through, who is Amadou Chico Sissoko?
I believe I was born an entrepreneur because I often tell people you should ask your parents what they were doing when you were in the womb. So my mom and my dad were trying to build a business when I was in the womb. So I think it has shaped somehow my way of thinking, of taking risks. I currently am a coach. I coach in transformational leadership, and I coach and mentor some of Africa's most influential young leaders through the YALI program, which I've been a beneficiary myself in 2014, and also have led the business and entrepreneurship program across the continent. So I've been able to meet and interact with very, very active, engaged young people across Africa. Here in the Gambia, you have one like Mohamed Kanye, who has the Speakers Corner Gambia, and I think also is part of the National Youth Council. And so my vision is really to use my skills and the knowledge that God has given me to help build the leaders that will build the future of Africa. And so it has been a journey of a lot of failure, a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties that I have had to learn to work on myself, improve my skills, my knowledge to be able to achieve those things, and then use that as a base for knowledge to teach other young leaders who also have big ambitions, who want to see change in their countries, but don't feel like they're understood, don't feel like they have the opportunities. So I always remind them that we are the ones to be resourceful. We're supposed to use what we have to get where we want to go. So if you're born in the Gambia, but you have a destiny to change the world, use what you have, start where you are, here in the Gambia, make impact here. And that impact can spread from the Gambia to Senegal, to the West African region. And one day, someone from Japan, his life can be changed by the work that you're doing in your village here. True. So I started from the farm. My dream was, when I was on the farm, I wanted to build my country's first agro-tourism retreat, and no one believed in it. I had been a dropout. I dropped out of 3 different universities, and people were like, you're never going to make it in life. And I built that agro-tourism retreat. I had a basketball team. I was the youngest owner of a basketball team. And that's how, the idea that if you can start somewhere, then you can go, and it just went on from there. So from the farm, got to meet the US President, Barack Obama, and it just continued growing. So my legacy really is to be remembered as someone who contributed to the development of leadership in Africa.
Yes, a development of leadership in Africa. What do you really think is the problem of young people in Africa?
To me, I think they lack models, right? Like the first model in a young person's life is your parents. But over the past 20 years, we've had young people become parents who are parenting, you have a young parent parenting a child, so a child parenting a child, who the child himself has not had good values, good education, confidence in themselves, so they can't transmit that to the next generation. So the biggest problem for me is that we grow up in an environment where our dreams are not validated. If you're a dreamer, if you're someone who wants to do something, they're like, no, stop thinking too much. Or, the white people are the ones who have more opportunities than we do. Or they'll say in the Gambia, you come from a very small country, so you can't do much. In Guinea, they'll say your country's, like so far behind you. So all these fake beliefs that we have stop us from actually thinking that we can make it here in our home, in our continent. So they look at what they see online and say, if I get there, I can become something, then come back here and do what I want to do. So they're going to take the risk of going all the way through the ocean. That's a lot of courage. Me, if I have that courage, I'd rather build a business here. True. Because you also need the courage here. It takes you the same amount of time to go for a dream of $1 million as to go for a dream of $1,000. It's the same amount of time, same amount of energy, same amount of difficulty. But the African young man or young woman has to overcome that self-belief. The parents don't believe in them. Society doesn't believe in them. And even when you'll see in many countries that I've worked in, where even the government establishes funds for youth, for women, you find those funds are just sitting there for years. Like every year the fund is there. They say, the young people are not coming for the funds. They say, well, we don't know the funds are there. But you gotta go search for those funds, right? You have to go search for opportunities and grab them where they are. So for my belief is, if we can educate, teach entrepreneurship, innovation, leadership from childhood, in middle schools, have entrepreneurship programs where children can be able to build small things and see how they can sell them, encourage children to really learn how to be self-reliant. We can leapfrog. True. Because we have the largest youth population. And we're very open-minded to technology. We're not afraid of taking risks. We're highly creative. Creativity is one of the most important skills in entrepreneurship. If everyone is running in this direction and you can be able to come up with just one different idea, you have an edge. we are creative people as Africans. But we need to learn how to harness that creativity in industries where we can also, be able to generate income.
Well, I mean, it's the mindset. You've mentioned it right. I think most people think Africa is done. I mean, you can't make it here. You will see a person with almost $5,000 in his pocket and, bought a boat to cross to Europe. I mean, with that $5,000, you can start up something in Africa.
Definitely.
And while you are committed to what you want to do, I believe you'll be able to make it. I am told you've also done a lot when it comes to shaping minds. Please tell us about the Regional Leadership Center in Accra.
Okay,
Yes.
so I actually, in 2014, when the inaugural Mandela Washington Fellowship was launched, I was fortunate to be amongst the first 500 across the continent. And then when I went to the States, I saw that the U.S. was the one investing the U.S. taxpayers' money in building leadership in Africa. And that to me didn't really make a lot of sense. I'm like, but we're the ones who are supposed to be investing in our children and our future. So I said, I'm going to use this opportunity where I will get training and all these skills. How do I transmit it backwards? I moved from the U.S., went to Kenya, where they had a vision 2030 of becoming the hub of innovation on the continent. The whole Silicon Savannah that led to the whole boom of mobile money from there. It was a vision that the country had set, that they want to be the hub of innovation in Africa. And so I looked at that. I started volunteering at the Yali Regional Center in East Africa, and I became the lead trainer there. And I said, okay, I'm going to focus on this program because they identify the top 5% of young leaders across each country without any my father's son or whatever. Like, it's a really thorough process, very selective. But then I get these young people and I'm training them, I'm coaching them, I'm inspiring them. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remind them that we need to stay African. We need to build Africa. Even if other countries come and support us, they give us funds, they give us, ideologies, they give us whatever. Let's have Africa as our main ground. And by God's grace, it was very touching to them. So now I have this network across the continent where when I come into, everything is through one person, 2 people, 3 people that I train, right? I started in East Africa, then became the lead for West Africa. So I was, training students from across 23 countries who each are in each country occupying some sort of, leadership position in business, in public sector, in the social sector. And so when I land in a country, I reach out to them and say, hey, I'm around, how can I help? They say, I have this training program, I have this organization, I have this company, I'd like you to come and speak to my people. And that has been, this constant. So for me, that's the impact. It's not about, what people will write about you and it's really what you do. Like when you're dead, how are people going to feel?
True.
Are people going to be happy? Or are they going to be like, thank God this person is gone, right? Or is it going to really have an impact because of the work you were doing on a day-to-day basis?
True.
So Yali has given me that opportunity. And I said, the Americans have started, we need to continue. So all my work, I always look to invest in young African leaders, innovators, and entrepreneurs. And that's what I want to be remembered for.
Yeah.
You, like many young people in Africa or in the world, have endured a lot, faced lots of rejections and failures in life. Young people, oftentimes, the mentality they have is that you have to be rich in order to start off somewhere, especially innovation. We believe that it is expensive, but you started off with just $100. How are you able to do that?
So I say your riches are in the mind, right? So where you need to invest most of your money when you're young is in your mind, like developing your skills, your knowledge, your abilities. So you guys, for example, just take an example on you, because many people look at you and say, I want to be there, right? But they don't know that you've done speech, you've learned how to speak, you've learned how to write, you've spent a lot of time doing research, investing in yourself. You've had to, fight to get to this stage. You didn't just show up and say, okay, I'm here. No, they have to test you. There's people who have been here for many years. So all that preparation, no one sees that, right? But that's what's important. So for me today, I can go broke today. You take me to the farthest village in the Gambia because I know how to cook. I can make it. Because I know how to speak, I know how to teach, I can make it. Because I am willing to work hard, I can make it. So those 3 skills alone can allow me to survive anywhere with anything because I start with what I have, right? Now, the more skills you have, the easier it is. The more knowledgeable you are, the easier it is. So if I show up with now my skills, my background and everything, I don't need to go cook. Someone can say, hey, there's a World Bank consultancy, come and start here. So if you are a young person, even let's say you don't have a degree, but what skill can you learn? Start with learning a skill. That skill, you then monetize that skill, right? You start monetizing your skill. You have clothes, you know how to sell, you know how to do. Start with what you have, but sell. Like someone has to pay you for something. If you have strength, go and get the shovel, go do the sand. But with the idea that I'm doing this sand so that one day I can own the mine. Today I'm going to start shoving, but my goal is that one day I will be the owner of this mine and there'll be 100 other young people who are shoving for me. So you have to have a big dream. Always have a big dream, because you can't go from broke to something without a big. I came to Kenya with $100, but my vision was I'm going to help this country become the hub of innovation in Africa. So my vision was so big that everywhere I would go, people were like, come speak, come speak, come speak. I wasn't earning anything. Sometimes I spent some nights I didn't eat. I moved 10 times in 10 months. I literally went from someone who was considered one of the youngest and most prominent young people of my country to a guy living under $2 a day for a whole year, right? Because I had a vision that I was pursuing. But everywhere I would go to train, I give everything I have. They say, no, come to the next one. And that's how now when I come and say, okay, I can help your company grow, and this is how much I charge. People say, yeah, I heard you speak there. I heard you train. I think you can. Here's your shot. So I bet on myself, on my skills, the skills that I had developed from my previous experiences. And that's what I shared with the young Gambians the other time. Always go back to your most exciting victory, even if it's just graduation or your first job or that first time that you won something. Have that as a landmark event in your life. Because every time you get beaten up, you can go back to that and say, if I was able to achieve this one thing, then I can achieve this other thing. And then always have also a positive view of your future. Like look at the future always with bright joy, happiness. Because between you and 10 years, there's no way you can fail. Like if you fail 10 times on one same goal for 10 years, you're really stupid, right? It means like they've given you all the advice and you have not listened.
That's not really for you.
Exactly, right? And you're stubborn to keep pushing for something that you know is not for you. But there's no way that in a cycle of 10 years you cannot make your dreams happen. So have that vision. I have in my phone, in my computer, like my life, I've visualized it, I vocalize it, and then I walk towards it every single day. I say to people, I'm going to go to space. How am I going to get to space? I want to understand space. I want to understand the business of space in Africa. Okay, how do I get into that business? I start looking around. Drones, agriculture. I already have capacity in that space. Can I now find people who are already advanced there and tell them, hey, this is what I have, this is what I want to do. Can we collaborate? And it works. Because they see me as someone who comes with passion, with conviction, like, if I work with this guy, like, we're going to get there. That's what you should be. So go where you are, go start making money. Don't steal, don't lie, don't cheat. Because those things also, they catch up. You know, like, if I always say, good guys finish last. Finish first. Like it takes a long time, but they finish best, right? Bad guys finish last. Why? Because the day that they're no longer in power, the day that they no longer have that strength, no one wants to help them because they've screwed everybody over, right? So if you're a good guy and you're not seeing the results, it's okay. You're investing in the long run. Keep that small momentum, but monetize it. Find a way to monetize your skills.
Well, I am motivated, honestly.
I am also motivated.
I think young people need these kind of talks. I mean, to be able to be confident, to know, okay, we can make it here. You are the only person that can change your situation. You know, nobody is going to do that for you. You know, I was talking to one of my bosses the other time. He said to me, you chose journalism. You chose to be on TV. Nobody chose it for you. There are things that, you know, people cannot do it for you.
Yeah.
You have to do it for yourself.
Yourself.
You understand? So I mean, I am really impressed.
Yeah.
Yes, Juliet.
So in terms of also decolonizing the minds of Africans, what are you doing in that regard? Because oftentimes, young Africans believe that in order to be successful, you need to work in an office. You know, how do you really go about really helping Africans to decolonize their mindsets?
That's a very good term, decolonization, right? Because when you think of colonization and you take out the European colonization of Africa, it's if you are a colony, it means you don't have agency over your own future, right? Someone else defines who you are to become. And that is true. That's the reality of us all in Africa, right? You look at your culture, you look at your family, you look at your country. So all these people define who you are going to be. First, start by defining who you want to be yourself. Have a clear plan for your own life. Because if you don't have a clear plan for your life, I'm going to make one for you, right? And someone else is going to make one for you. And that does not mean that you don't get a job in an office. No, there are some people who are not made to own the office, right? Because when you own the office, you're not just preoccupied by the work you're doing. You're preoccupied by the lights, the taxes, the competitors, like so many other things, right? So if you're going to start with an office job, start with an office job. But be like you own the business in that office job. Right? When I was training at Yali, I was like, the other trainers, right? We all had contracts as companies to offer services. But for them, it was like, I come, I work, I get paid. Me, I'm like, God sent me here to change this whole place, right? If I walk into the building, I am here to make impact in the whole building. So you have to think of yourself as not just a normal human being. You have agency. Your presence here in the Gambia, if you're born in the Gambia, it means you have a responsibility towards the Gambia. And then don't forget something as a young Gambian. 2 million people is not a lot to compete with. Go sit in Nigeria with 200 million people, it will be harder for you to get a job, right? 2 million people means that if you can do something significant in the Gambia, you are already in the history of Africa because you have stood out. And that's all of us who are here because we've done something. We've worked hard to get to where we are, where our work and our skills in this very moment is affecting millions of other people that we don't even know. They're sitting there home, they're watching. They don't know the work of this young man who's behind the camera. But God knows what journey this young man has. The struggles he's had to go to be here in this very moment, just recording this, for that person to hear what I'm saying and their life to be changed. His life is important. But if he doesn't see his life as important, if he said, I'm just a simple cameraman, right? He's just going to come do his work and go home. I show up, I'm like, I'm not just I allow for the country to get information. If I do my work well, people are going to be able to capture this information and do something with it. So you have to consider yourself as important. You have to consider yourself as great for other people to consider you as important. And then you always have to be like the soil. The soil from which we come is the soil to which we go back to. That's what I believe. Never put yourself above anyone. Because you are better than no one. You can only be better than yourself. Because no one else wants to be you or like you. They want something you have, but they don't want everything you have. So focus on yourself. There's no one who wakes up in the morning and says, oh, what has Chico eaten for breakfast? Where is Chico today? Even the ones on social media say they follow you. They follow you like for 20 minutes of their time. The rest is spread out across so many other things that they don't even think about you. So you're not that important. Because you're not that important, focus on what's important for you, right? Your education, your dreams, your future, and what impact are you leaving for your family? The people that God chose to put you with, your sister, your brother, your mother, even if they're horrible, right? Sometimes just telling them the truth is maybe why you're in that family. That's the only person who told me the truth. Huh? That brother, they're the only one who can dare to tell me the truth. That's your importance. So for me, it's like let's give ourselves value. The Europeans respect us, huh? Let's not think that they don't respect us. They respect us because they know we have the resources. Asians respect us. They know we have the resources. Everybody respects us. But we don't respect ourselves because we don't know the value of what we have. And so we always see them as superior because we don't see the superiority in ourselves. For me, I am a person that is here to make an impact. I am responsible for delivering on that. God gave me breath, oxygen, and opportunities. I have to seize them, I have to transform them, I have to transfer them to other people. If I don't deliver on that, I am frustrated with myself, not someone else. It's not someone else who holds me back from having opportunities. If I see an opportunity, I push forward. If it's for me, the door will open, right? One last thing that I always say, look at your dreams as like a door. In front of that door, you have 1,000 set of keys, right? Only one key will open the door. But that's your dream. How long are you going to keep trying? Until the door opens, right? So if it means you're going to change keys and then you say, okay, maybe it's different brands. Now you have more experience. It's going to make it faster. But you're still going to have to keep trying. So keep trying until you become that person that you aspire to become.
Yes, I mean, thank you very much, Ahmadou Chiko Sissoho. I mean, I think we've learned a lot on this program, and equally those watching us right now. So, I mean, this is a very important conversation that young people should have time to time, at least to reflect their minds, like Julde said, to decolonize our minds. I mean, this is what Africa needs, you understand? When you talk to other people, they'll tell you, Africa, we have all the resources, we have all the things that we can, that we can use to make it here. But what is preventing us from making it here? It's the mindset. You understand? So thank you very much. We appreciate this, and I hope one day we will engage you maybe on a video call too. I mean, on this program.
Why not? Why not? I am here in the Gambia to open a subsidiary for our agriculture investment business in Guinea.
Wow,
so we are facilitating investments from foreigners all across the world into agriculture in Africa. In Guinea, we have 6.2 million hectares of arable land. 50% only has been exploited. My belief is it's not only Guineans who should be producing, even Gambians can invest in Guinea, produce income and sell in the Gambia, which could be more effective. So we've come to do a market research. It's going very well. And so my hope is that Gambia, and I love smiling, so I find myself at home, that I can also be an ambassador of the Smiling Coast in the near future. So it's a pleasure to be here. Really happy to be here.
Thank you very much. Yes, so we'll take a short break. After the break, then the program continues. We'll be right back.
The future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day, or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow.
Step into the Espas Motors showroom for your luxurious name brand vehicle. Located along the Bertil Harding Highway, Espas Motors is the Gambia's authorized dealer for Chery, Kia, Ford, and now we bring you the new Peugeot model 3008 SUV. 18-inch alloy wheels, 216 inches high ground clearance, keyless entry system, start and stop button, rear parking assistance system, reverse camera, adaptive cruise control with speed limit, LED daytime running lights, front and side airbags, 8-inch HD touchscreen. Not to forget our exquisite Peugeot Landtrek double cabin pickup with 2.1-liter diesel engine, 6-speed manual transmission 4x4, hill descent control, LED daytime running lights. Espas Motors, the authorized dealer for Peugeot. Visit us today or call us on 35-2222 or 353-4444.
Looking for the perfect place to promote your product or place your advert? Look no further than QTV. We are the premier destination for businesses looking to connect with Gambian audiences and beyond. At QTV, we offer a variety of advertising solutions to suit your needs and budget. With our diverse range of programming, you can be sure that your art will reach a broad and engaged audience. From our popular news broadcast to our exciting music and entertainment programming, QTV has something for everyone. QTV, the premier destination for advertising in the Gambia. Contact us today and let us help you reach your audience. Do your banking the smart way with the new Aji Bank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Aji Bank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Aji Bank, your investment partner. You asked for it, and QCell is giving it to you with our new and improved Sunyu Bundle Mega Promo. Now you can get more data at cheaper prices. Buy any of our bundle packages and enjoy massive discounts. Dial *303# and enjoy browsing on the network with the biggest coverage. Buy a 20 megabytes data bundle for as low as $7 and 50 bottles today, or purchase bigger bundles up to 20 gigabytes. Yes, that's right, 20 gigabytes of data at your fingertips. With our mega promo bundles, you can browse more, chat longer, and stay connected on the go, anytime, anywhere. For more information, call our customer care on 111 QCell.
For more information, call our customer care on 111. We are back. This is QTV This Morning. Now to the last segment of the program. We will be talking to Adama Jimbe Joop, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Programs, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, and Anna Nancy Mendy, Director Early Childhood Inclusive Education Directorate. Gentlemen and lady, welcome to QTV This Morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here so that we can treat a very significant topic, which is
The midterm policy.
absolutely
Review of the education 2016-2023.
Yeah. So it's important for us to go through that on this program, because topics like this should not be left out. They should be, talked about. On that note, let's start with the lady. Here we believe in ladies first. Yes. Please take us through what it really does.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. You may be aware that the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, or the Ministry of Education, has a 2016 to 2030 education policy. And if you look at from 2016 to now, we have gone midterm. So it is necessary to look at what we have done with regards to implementation of that policy, to review it, to see how we have done, how far we have gone, and to look at the issues with regards to the implementation. Have we done well in some areas, or do we need to buckle up in some of the other areas, or are there emerging issues during this time? So it's time that the Education Ministry, this policy, which includes both the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education and the Ministry of Higher Education, to look at the policy and review it, because we've gone midterm to see what needs to be put in place with the remaining period of the policy.
So this particular policy was from 2016 to 2023, and we have almost now come to the end of 2023.
No, it's up to 2030.
2030.
Yes.
Okay, so this particular policy so far, what has it really achieved in terms of education, in terms of the quality, in terms of access? Really, what have you achieved so far? It's for you, Permanent Secretary.
Deputy Permanent Secretary.
Deputy
Thank you very much.
Permanent Secretary.
It's good to be here.
I don't want your Permanent Secretary to come from me. Yes.
To be here today, talking about the midterm review. The education policy that we're implementing was on 3 tiers. We have quality, access, and relevance.
Yeah.
In terms of access, it's no doubt we have achieved more than our target as far as access is concerned, because a lot of children are going to school. Not everybody, and our target as a government is everybody to be in school. But we have really made significant strides as far as access is concerned. With the issue of quality, we still have challenges. And you can bear me witness that whenever the results are out, particularly at grade 9 or grade 12, the country pounds on us, education.
Yeah.
So we still have challenges on that. The issue of relevance also, we have been doing something, and one of the strategies that we of recent think about is to look at our curriculum. How do we make it relevant to the needs of the country today? I mean, taking cognizance of the challenging issues that we are facing, particularly with our youthful population.
Yeah.
So these are the three main components that we have been working on. But like I said, quality we're still struggling. And also that is the main reason why in this midterm policy, we want to hear from people. What do they think should be done to be able to achieve that quality? What are the missing links? What are the emerging issues as far as Anna alluded to? Since the launch of the policy in 2016 to date, so many things have happened.
Yeah.
The most obvious that has disrupted education was the COVID-19. But apart from the COVID-19, education in emergency, ITC, the use of technology, if you so access from 2016 to date, the way, IT has, expanded exponentially, looking at what was happening at the time and now, the use of WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, all these things in 2016 we are not there. But from 2016 to date, it has come up. What do we do as a country to make sure that we also accept and appreciate technology to be part of our education delivery, so that everybody understands that for us to compete in the 21st century, for our children to be able to compete globally, they have to go along those trends.
Yeah.
So these are the issues that we think that will be teased out from the public as they are invited to come into this consultation and tell us, because we are just calling people to listen to them. We had a policy that we are implementing. Are you happy with what we have done so far? What do you think is missing? Where do you think we were doing good? You say, okay, bravo, thank you. But where you think we were found wanting, let us know. And then we looked at it as a country to come up with strategies to address those issues.
Yes, so that's important, at least to hear from, the people. This is very significant. So let's talk about the ministry itself. When it comes to the syllabus, the type of syllabus that we use in our educational system. There were times that some people said, this syllabus, I think we need to change, so that we can be able to compete, with other countries as well. So what do you think of that?
With regards to the syllabus, in terms of competing with other countries, we are already doing that. Because if you look at the WAS, it's not just Gambia that is doing it, other West African countries are doing it. But with regards to the curriculum, we had just on the review of the curriculum. We felt it's a curriculum that needs to be reviewed to incorporate all these issues like ICT and other issues that really are emerging issues that should be part of the curriculum. So as a sector, we have already on the process, which is almost complete in terms of reviewing the curriculum so that we can incorporate other issues that really would make it much more a very quality curriculum.
So aside from that as well, because I think one of the factors that really can contribute to quality education is the teachers who are teaching these students, the level that they are in, the quality of their education. Oftentimes you hear students they would teach their teachers, the way they are teaching is not right, or what they are saying it's not right. And sometimes this is even evident with the recent World Bank Human Capital Index report, to say that most of the teachers in the Gambia who are even teaching are themselves even failed in their exams. So what are you doing in that regard? It is one thing to have many teachers in these schools, but is another also to have teachers who are really up there, who can do the work.
Yeah, the teacher factor cannot be overemphasized. When you talk about quality education, it's one of the, if not the most, it's one of the most important issues that need to be considered. But it's not only the teacher factor anyway, but it's very, very significant, and we are aware of that. And one strategy that we already have even started as a country is the competency assessment that we are giving to teachers when they graduate from Gambia College. I mean, there was a lot of noise. You know, why should we be, after being certified by the Gambia College, but these were people that we have subjected to an assessment, and we realized that they were not competent enough. As a result, the ministry has decided to introduce that at the end of their training at Gambia College, but also it is the onus lies on us as a sector to build up the capacity of the people that are already in the system. Because the competency test is for those who are coming in. But how about those who are already in? So it's on us as a ministry or as a government to make sure that we build up their capacities, because we employed them. So as part of their requirement is to continue giving what we call CPD, continuous professional development, on areas that we think they are found wanting. And that's why we are empowering our INSET unit, our in-service training unit, so that they will be assessing the gaps that are with teachers in the system and then try to build up on those gaps. It's not something that we will be able to solve overnight. It has to take some little time, because of the numbers involved, and also resources sometimes is a constraint. But we are very much aware of it, and we are definitely doing something to address the teacher component. But also, when we talk about teachers, it's not only their capacities, their welfare. I mean, the person going to the classroom need to be comfortable psychologically before he or she can deliver what is expected. So based on that, we just have done what we call the service scheme, been revised for teachers, reclassifying schools, that is going to give us more people feel like they are more comfortable now in the profession they are in. Because if the teachers are comfortable, if the teachers are psychologically stable, if the teachers, financially you don't go into a class and think of the fish money, or you see a lady coming, you are scared of your wife falling on you into the school to ask for fish money, then you are comfortable. So these are some of the issues that we have been looking with support from the Ministry of Public Administration, and hope that come 2024 January, if this is implemented, it's going to boost the morale of teachers.
Well, we also have teachers that does two shift, morning and afternoon.
Double shifting. Yeah.
Yes, double shift. Don't you think that is also going to drain their energy? At some point when you are at school in the morning, before afternoon, you are exhausted, but you still have to continue teaching the afternoon shift to the evening. Don't you think that is also a factor that is going to affect the education system?
Yeah, partially. I will agree with you, and I cannot definitely disagree with that. It's a factor, because we are human beings. We have our limitations. But when we introduced the double shift a few years ago, it was meant for an efficiency measure, because there was a boom as far as enrollment was concerned. And education was no longer seen as a privilege, but a right for every person. Have the right to go to school. When we were going to school, it was a privilege, because then you have the common entrance, you either pass or you are not there. Now it's not that. But then it was meant to be an efficiency measure. The objective was it was going to be introduced few years, and then we do away with double shifting of teachers. The infrastructure we will double shift, because of the numbers. We do not have enough classrooms. We do not have enough furniture. Then we will double shift the infrastructure. But the teachers were not supposed to be continuous. By the time COVID struck in, we were almost done with Region 1, double shifting, and part of Region 2. It was the double shifting of teachers was to stop. What the objective, when we were doing the posting, that there was permanent afternoon, permanent morning for teachers. And that was going to be gradual. So by now we would have said, okay, in the next 2 years, we wouldn't be double shifting our teachers. But as things are now, it will be something that will continue for a while. But definitely we want to do away with the double shifting of the teachers and double shift the structures. Like Serekunda School, you have permanent teachers who are coming to teach in the morning. When the children are coming in the afternoon, a new set of teachers are there. So which means if you have 3 teachers, you will need 6 teachers. And still we cannot get 6, but we have 4. So you may double shift still the other 2 teachers to enable the children coming in the afternoon to also have. But I totally agree with you. They're human beings, they have their limitations, so it's very difficult for somebody to work from 8 to 6.
It is.
Yeah, so I mean, any other final thing you want to share on the program before we close?
The midterm review, who are the stakeholders that are involved? Because I think also the people who are involved in the review are very important.
Yes.
So
yeah, I just wanted to say that the midterm review will be held from the 12th to the 15th, meaning it's starting tomorrow to Friday, and we have invited different stakeholders. From religious to head of institutions and children, different stakeholders, a variety of stakeholders have been invited. And we're also going to have international people coming to give papers on the different, because we're going to look at access and quality, we're going to look at relevance, we're going to look at sector management as well. So all those things are issues that we're going to discuss. And like I said, different stakeholders have been invited, and we expecting to have a lot of views from different stakeholders, so that is really going to help us with the last part of this policy, to ensure that we have a very
So how soon are you going to start the implementation of some of these recommendations that are going to come out from this?
As soon as we finish the policy,
Because
we're going to do
Gambia, I know it's good that we have recommendations and all of that, but always implementation of the policies and programs is always a problem in this country.
Yes, that's
yes, you're right. It's problem. most of the time, you know, the sector really are people. We have people that are really hard working to do, but most of the time the constraint could be resource based, because we don't have the resources. But we have all these fine ideas that we really need to implement. Sometimes the issue is the resources to implement. But if we have the resources, definitely we'll be able to.
There is no doubt.
Do well,
Yes, all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Adam Jimbe Job, and of course, Anna Nancy Mendy, for coming on this program. And we are hopeful we'll engage you another time again.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Julde, this is all we have for today. Until tomorrow.
Inshallah, for another edition.
Yeah, so viewers, enjoy the rest of our program. Until we come your way tomorrow, have a wonderful day.